is a popular cliche that says doesn't have to be perfect to get started, or somewhere along the way you've heard some variation of that phrase. And while it upsets me greatly, it is true. Perfection is not a requirement to show up for your life. And I know that we as humans want to make it seem like all is well. Someone asks how are you doing? You say you're fine, but you're not fine. But you need the illusion of perfectionism to appear so no one really gets to know you. Or you have the illusion gives you permission to stay where you are, which is stuck, which is unhealed, which is in misery and pain. But perfection is not a requirement. You just need to show up. And that's scary for many people, because perfection is actually a clue for someone suffering with low self-esteem. And those of us, self-included, who suffer with low self-esteem never want to admit to that, because the illusion of perfectionism is far much easier than addressing our real problems. But if you had waited until everything was perfect, when would you have started? If it was perfect, you would never get started, because there will always be something wrong. There will always be a flaw in everything. The point is to embrace the flaws. The point is to accept the flaws as perfection. I'm in a car recording a video. This audio is not as great as someone recording videos at a studio with equipment. And while I have access to that, I didn't want to wait until I got to the perfect environment with the perfect audio equipment, with the perfect angles, with the perfect lighting, with the perfect microphone, with the perfect background to say what I had to say. Because by the time I would have gotten to the studio, I would have lost the essence of what I had to say. It's not about perfectionism, it's about showing up. My hair isn't the way that I want it to be. My clothes, I definitely would not have chosen this top. I wish the sun was not beaming directly in my face so I can move this visor up in its proper position. But perfectionism is not a requirement. And it took me a long time to recognize that. And it still takes me a long time to get started with things, because I do think I have to have it perfect. I do think that if my hair isn't in its proper place, people will say something. Or if my heart is dirty, someone will notice. Or if, the environment around me isn't video worthy, someone will have something to say. But I've reached a point in my journey that while I see what people say, while I hear what people have to say, it doesn't matter as much as it did. Because I've recognized that the only opinion that matters is my own. And I can't stay paralyzed in a gift that's mine, worrying about it being perfect, worrying about it being pretty, or worrying if I'm presenting in a way that will please everyone, that will stop them from saying whatever. Whether you accept it or not, whether you take a screenshot of a flaw or not, I showed up. Yes, I was scared. Yes, I had to give myself a couple of pep talks. Yes, I had to turn on some music and try to change my vibration, release my nerves. But I showed up. It's not perfect. The sun is now disappearing in the clouds. I don't have the best audio. But I showed up. Because I'm tired of waiting for things to get perfect before I activate my own life. Because life doesn't care whether or not it's the perfect time. Life just happens. Babies are not born at the perfect time. How many stories have you heard or read or seen of women giving birth in the middle of car accidents, or, while they're out at dinner, or while they're doing everything but being prepared to go into labor? How many times have you watched a movie and noticed a flaw, but did the flaw take away from the movie? And waiting for everything to be perfect means you're waiting and allowing time to pass you up. And I don't know about you, but I am tired of watching time go by, watching days go by, watching months go by, and I'm still stuck on what I should have already done. And then telling myself it's not perfect yet, so I won't move forward. But when a month or 2 or 3 or 4 goes by, I'm frustrated because I'm not further ahead. I'm not where I thought I would be. But if I had simply shown up instead of waiting for perfection, if I had simply stood up to the plate instead of waiting for the right moment, I would recognize that I create my right moments. I create what's perfect. I create the reality that I want. And if it's perfect, great. But if it's not, that doesn't devalue who I am. This video is probably not the best video you've ever seen. But I am the best that I've ever seen. Because I simply chose to show up. Not when it was perfect, not when I was surrounded by people who would cheer me on, but when I decided the time was now. I don't want to waste another day, another minute, hoping that the stars align perfectly and everything is aligned perfectly, and then start the work, then start the process. Life doesn't care about your perfectionism. Life will keep going. The world keeps turning. Time keeps ticking. The calendar, you have to flip a calendar. And it doesn't care. This universe does not care about it being perfect. So why do we waste so much time, waste so much energy, waste so much resources waiting for perfectionism, when all I have to do is show up? And not show up perfect. Just show up as authentic as I can possibly be. Show up when I'm scared. Show up when I would rather be doing anything else. Show up when my heart isn't racing. I would rather show up when everything was perfect. But if I keep waiting for things to be perfect, my dreams will never come true. If I keep waiting for everything to be perfect, I would never get started. I will always be in a position of complaining about needing to be further down the road, but not caring enough to just simply get started. No, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just show up. And don't show up because of someone else. Show up for you. Show up because you are willing to put in the work. willing to go through the process so you can see your greatness, so you can believe in your goals and dreams. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to show up as you. It's hard. It's a process. But keep showing up. And if someone has something to say about how you show up for your journey, that's none of your business, and your journey is none of their business. Please don't get paralyzed in waiting for perfection. Please don't get paralyzed in waiting for other people to recognize your worth. Please don't get paralyzed in hoping that it's so great that no one will have anything to say. Let them talk. Let them point out. You just keep showing up. Because at the end of your life, you do not want to be reflecting on all of the things that you should have done. Reflect on all the things that you actually got done because you chose to show up. You are more than worthy. You are deserving. You deserve to show up. You deserve to be present for your life. Stop waiting for perfectionism. Show up, flaws and all.